Hey, Nato here. Today I'm going to do my next part on what if Deku had Generator X's power. This part is going to be, um, yeah, this part is going to be, for the USJ, which is going to be pretty intense for Deku, for multiple reasons. So, let's get this started. Everyone's in the school bus going to the USJ, and just like in the original, um, Tsuyu start asking around about quirks, and they ask about pretty much everyone, like in the anime, and then they go and ask about Deku for what is, well, the full access to your power that you have. With Momo basically just saying, like, even I don't know that. We've been together since, well, since my dad adopted him, but he's always have been holding back while I was around. Which Deku kind of just laughed a bit and said, well, I don't want to hurt you. You're basically like my sister, right? Well, adoptive sister. That's basically Deku saying that, not Momo. Which, if you remember in the last part, in the end, Momo kind of got a bit, how do you say, pumped up because when Deku grabbed Ochako and basically had her in his arm, she basically felt some emotions that she didn't really know if she really was feeling them. Like a bit of anger, a bit of jealousy, and basically, when he said that, she kind of blushed because, well, yeah, she pretty much feels, well, she loves him, but when he said that, she didn't really know um, what it meant. If it meant he loves her as more than just a friend, if it's in the way of brother sister, or if it goes beyond that. So, after everyone basically just looking at them, so you ask again, so what is the extent of your power? With Deku saying that what he showed in the entrance exam was actually that, the full extent of it. Which everyone basically looked at him like, are you serious? Damn. So, you really are trying, we're going all out. That's a relief. At least we know you're not that much stronger. Which, he then said, yeah, but at the same time I did go overboard. Which many of them then asked, what do you mean? With Deku laughing a bit and saying that, for some reason, he has the capacity to boost his creations. If he wants them to go beyond, he can make them. He has a limit to it, but still he can go pretty far. I have to pause, sorry for that. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. So, like I was saying, he basically explained that if he truly needs to, he can boost them to a certain point, and that what he did in the exam that Aizawa did basically was the full extent, with all of that power, all of the extra that he could do, which made them realize that, so if you train correctly, you could even boost it further than that. With Deku saying, yeah, pretty much. He then explained about his build, that he needs to specifically think of the blueprints for them, which Momo knew by that point. But everyone basically looked at him like, wait, you need to do the blueprints? Which Deku explained that he can do pretty much anything he would want to as long as it's metallic and mechanical, but that he needs to have the blueprints for it. He needs to know how to build it. The small robots in his body basically allow me to create stuff, but as long as I know what they are. This is why some of my builds are bigger than sometimes. If I need more strength while using my smash arms, I can make them bigger. Then he said, at some point I think I even was able to put spikes on. Well, no. At some point I think I made a metal ball. Instead of making it a ball, I made it a spike, like when throwing it with my gun, cannon. But pretty much I need to know exactly what I'm doing. Not long after that, they arrived at USJ. So, when they arrived there, first thing that happens is basically everything exactly like the anime. They basically start. 13 presents herself. They talk. They go in. They arrive at the right in front of the stairs, and then Kurogiri start teleporting people. Everyone is exactly the same, and basically gets, everyone gets out. Aizawa tells everyone to run, but then, before leaving, just looks at Deku and tells him, protect everyone, and just leaves. He had said 13 to protect everyone, but he decided to think about it correctly, and yeah, Deku's pretty strong. He could fight a lot of people, and even if someone's able to erase his quirk, he can still use it. So, what do? You leave him do it. He has to protect people. If he can, he has to. And yeah. So, they basically start going, and basically Kurogiri gets told by Shigaraki to teleport everyone. Deku, when he sees Kurogiri arrive the first time, made a smash hand that was a lot bigger than normal. basically wanting to slap him away. Basically as big as the body, not to basically hit a single part, just to hit everything. Which allowed him to push Kurogiri back the first time, and after that, Kurogiri decided that this one needs to be taken care of at first. And then goes straight, open a portal behind Deku. Deku doesn't see it, but the others do. They scream at him to be careful, and he's caught in it. Then other portals get opened, and everyone that were teleported in the anime gets teleported again to the same zones. The only difference is Deku. He wasn't sent to the boat zone. He was actually sent in the mountain range. Just, well, where Momo, Earphone Jack, and the Thunder Guy. Why do I forget their name today? I just wrote with Momo, so yeah, you get why. So basically, they get sent there, and all of them are just looking around until Kurogiri sends Villain to every other point. So every student basically gets scared at first, except for, well, Bakugo, and then there's Momo's group with Deku. Deku basically tells her to, tells all of them to stay behind, and he's going to take care of this, and he basically does. Smash Hand and Smash Boots, and basically kicking and hitting the hell out of the enemies. So that's basically bonus for them. They have the entire, well, they don't have the problem of what happened in the anime. He tells them to get to the exits and that he's going to go try and help Aizawa or the other students. They accept and they go, and Deku basically gets closer to the battle with Aizawa before the Nomu actually starts fighting him. Shigaraki basically, Kurogiri spots Deku. Shigaraki then spots him as well. Shigaraki asks him how he is able to still be there. Kurogiri says that he doesn't know. The other villain should have taken care of him. And then they basically get ready to Kurogiri gets ready to teleport him again, but Shigaraki tells the Nomu to attack the kid. Aizawa doesn't hear it at first, until he sees the Nomu basically jumps towards a certain place. He checks what he's doing and sees Deku. He wants to scream at Deku to move out of the way, but Deku sees the Nomu coming and gets ready. He makes his smash hands and basically gets ready to pummel the Nomu. The first hit happens with Deku hitting and shock absorption. Deku basically is surprised by that until the Nomu grabs the arm and basically does, a Hulk. basically smashing Deku from side to side, just like Hulk did to Loki in the first Avengers movie. Difference is that he was grabbing a giant arm instead of the leg, but it was still basically working the same way until Deku detached the arm completely. Well, the metal part of it. The Nomu saw that and basically went charging towards Deku, who basically made 2 more smash hands to protect himself, and got just, well, the reason he made those instead of the shield was basically to protect once and then try to hit him again. Didn't really work. The hit in itself broke apart the hands and pushed Deku away. Deku decided that he was going to only play defensively and running away as well, and finally made the shield. Deku used it to block 1 hit of the Nomu and kind of hold. Second hit it broke, so was really being beaten up. Aizawa was able to look at the Nomu just long enough while Deku decided to try 1 last hit. And thanks to Aizawa nullifying the quirk, the Nomu got hit pretty hard. Problem is, Aizawa had to close his eyes, which the regeneration kicked in. Deku basically saw how what he used for that hit was still a punch, but basically it still harmed the Nomu. Not in a way that would basically make it extremely bad, but he was able to basically punch him strong enough to basically kind of leave a small mark. The Nomu basically got back up, and Deku got scared. Then he heard Aizawa scream, "Run!" So, after basically that, he did. Well, he turned his. He made his jetpack and basically tried to fly away. But the Nomu basically jumped. So Deku basically got the jetpack grabbed by the Nomu, and the Nomu basically ripping one of them out, hurting Deku quite a lot. That was a bad move. Fuck. Yeah, sorry. Deku basically falling, preparing to get hit in the ground, but instead basically got a massive hit to the head, to the back by the Nomu, hurting a fuckload. So, Kurogiri basically looked at Deku that was down on the ground and basically thought that with that hit, he would have died. He told the Nomu to then attack Aizawa, which the Nomu started getting closer, and then Deku's basically turning his hand back into smash hands, and basically grabbing the Nomu from behind, and for the first time doing something that is good, and using the sword, which basically when he did it, he was able to chop off the arm. But now the regeneration kicks in. the one thing that basically allows him to stand toe-to-toe with All Might and still survive after being United State of Smash punched. But yeah, no. Deku wasn't able to actually harm it that much, which was pretty bad. Since that happened, Deku basically got scared, and Shigaraki told the Nomu to kill the kid. He's more resilient than we thought. And so the Nomu starts wailing on Deku. During that time, Bakugo was arriving, Shoto was coming out of his zone as well. And they basically just saw Deku trying to protect himself with these smash hands, building more and more and more and more and more and more, one after the other every time it broke. Basically taking away a huge amount of nanites over time. Still having plenty, but still using a lot in those moments. Deku was basically feeling the toll on his body until All Might arrived. And when he arrived, he saw Deku basically being on the ground and got mad. But before he was able to finally jump to help Deku, Deku saw him and left his guard down for just long enough to not build another smash hand fast enough to get hit straight on. And then Nomu, basically after getting a good hit in for the first time, basically started going at it. So Deku was being destroyed, demolished. The only reason he was still alive was thanks to the nanites and his resilience. When All Might was finally able to basically get there, he basically did the exact same exchange of punch with the Nomu as in the anime, except this time angry, so he was a bit faster. And then he was able to do the same thing and blast him away. When arriving, after doing that, All Might still had more time left, since he did it a lot faster. So he was ready to go and fight against Shigaraki. Instead of only having like some seconds left, he had over a minute, so he was ready to go. Kurogiri took Shigaraki away and left. Other heroes arrived, arrested every other villains, while All Might basically grabbed Deku, brought him closer to other heroes, and basically told one of them that they needed to get to Recovery Girl, because if they weren't there, he wasn't going to survive for longer. Which is true. The only reason he is alive is because his nanites, the nanites he has left, which he, while basically making smash hands over smash hands, he almost used about a half of them, which normally his body has so much of that basically he doesn't know what to do with them, so they can just basically heal anything from his body. But this time, even if he would still have 100% of his nanites, they cannot heal that fast anything. They cannot do it. So they brought him to Recovery Girl. Recovery Girl decided to basically try to heal him, and she basically saw that, yeah, it was kind of helping, but not enough. Nowhere close enough. All Might asked her if he was going to be okay, and she told him the truth. The only reason this boy is still alive right now is because of his quirk and my healing. His quirk is able to heal him thanks to all of the small robots that are doing the job, but they're not strong enough. They're not working fast enough, and his body's basically deteriorating as fast as it's being rebuilt. And even with my healing, it's almost not doing anything. This boy is going to die if nothing good happens. He is a lost cause. Which made All Might say, think we can't let him die. This boy, he's unique. He's strong. And then he just kind of realized something and said, wait, he has a healing factor, right? With his quirk? Which Recovery Girl says, yes, but it's nowhere close enough to be able to heal him. If I heal him constantly, I can maybe buy him a day. But that's all I could buy him. While his quirk is, if I were to leave him alone, would be only able to hold him for about 2 or 3 hours more. Together it might be able to last him about 4 days or 5 days. But he will not make it. With All Might then telling her, what if his quirk was stronger? Which made her realize what he was implying, giving him One for All, boosting his healing, boosting everything, and making him able to do it. She said it would work, but they would need to actually make him ingest the DNA. Which All Might basically gave her a hair and said, yeah, but can't you do it another way? Which she then said, well, to make him eat it, we can just tube feed him. Which she basically did. For those who don't know what tube feeding is, they basically put a tube directly through your mouth that goes straight to your stomach and basically feeds you food constantly through that. Well, not constantly, but enough to basically allow you to survive. They can or do that or pass. Well, not everyone has that. It's basically mostly for those who had something like a broken jaw or something. But Deku's basically completely unconscious, not able to do anything. Oh yeah, also for those that are in a coma, and basically that's him. So they basically get ready, do it, and then they basically make sure he's stabilized. When One for All basically is able to get in and gets passed down to Deku, something happens in Deku. All of the nanites, his entire body, hell, even everything he actually has, everything of him, basically starts to augment. All of his nanites, no matter if it's the Omega or the other ones, they're all starting to glow. After basically a certain amount of time, all of Deku's nanite were starting to get stronger, and his Omegas were making a lot more, producing an amount almost unholy. And thanks to all of that, his body was able to heal. It took him almost 2 weeks, well, 2 entire weeks to completely heal. But he was still in a coma for about 2 days after that, putting him about right before the sports festival. Sorry about that. So, yeah, so he basically was right before the sports festival started, and he woke up. So Deku basically woke up there, fully healed, no problem left, and was feeling around his body and was perfectly fine. Someone entered the room, saw Deku, and basically went to look for for other people like Nezu, All Might, Recovery Girl, calling Deku's mom, Inko, and basically some people in class. Mostly, wait, no, not Inko. Inko's dead. They called Momo and Momo's dad. Why did I say Inko? Yes, sorry about that. But basically, they arrived there, and Deku's basically happy to see them. Momo's crying and basically hugging Deku, and they're basically having a moment until Nezu basically asked Deku how he felt. With Deku saying he was fine, but that it was weird. He feels different. He then lifted his arm and basically started moving it by the side, basically kind of like to do a movement of like pushing something, and without even wanting to. His arm basically made a smash hand. Nobody was there, so it didn't hurt anyone, but everyone basically saw how scared he was, because he didn't want to do that. When they learned that he didn't want to do it, and that it just happened, they kind of backed away a bit. Basically, Recovery Girl said, everyone get back. If something's wrong, we have to be careful. And then All Might asked him how he felt about that, and if he's able to put it to unmake it, which Deku basically tries and is able to do, but it takes time. Basically, instead of almost instant, it took a bit. So they told him they would have to keep him away from the sports festival during that time, because if he's not able to control his quirk, he could hurt some of the other students, which even he accepted. He was told to be kept in the room for now, until he's basically able to control his power again. And they leave, leaving All Might and Recovery Girl. Nezu decided to tell Momo and Momo's dad that they would do everything to basically help him go back home as soon as possible. During that time, All Might and Recovery Girl were explaining everything to Deku about One for All. Well, mostly All Might, but still, Recovery Girl was there. Which Deku basically started crying and telling All Might thank you for that. And then All Might told him, one thing I really have to tell you. My quirk is dangerous. If your body is not trained, you could break your bones, your body. With your strength, I thought you would at least be able to handle it, and I'm happy that's the case. But your quirk is now augmented, and you'll have to be careful. With Deku basically trying to move and basically stand up, and a Smash Boots basically being built, and All Might just transforming fast enough to grab Recovery Girl out of the way before the boot basically hit the wall, not breaking it, but making a massive amount of cracks. After that, they basically left him, told him to try and rest, and told Momo she could talk to him, but from outside. Which she explained to him everything that happened during the 2 weeks that he was out, and that she hopes he gets better soon. I'm going to end it here. Hope you liked it. Leave a like if you did. If you have any questions or commentary you want to give me, put them in the comment section. I read everything. I'm going to leave a link to my Discord in the description. Come and join us if you want to. And yeah, Natsu out.